there, did the mix. Hello everybody and welcome to our new masterclass. Today we're going to have a festive hairstyle for you, and something special for you today is we're going to prep the hair with this beautiful Dyson. I already prepped the hair a little bit because if you're going to see the masterclass and I have to create a hairstyle total, it will take a long time. So we're going to start to finish the hair with this Dyson, and I'm going to show you a few techniques how you can make beautiful hair with curls for the festive season that's coming up. Afterwards, of course, I'm going to use like the normal hairpins. I'm also going to show you a hairstyle with the steel hairpin. And in the end, don't forget that I have like a very new surprise for you, because today is Halloween and we have something very extraordinary on our website. So let's start. For you that doesn't know how the Dyson works, you're just put it on, and I just already used it, and you can see that it's very important that you use the right temperature. You can see I have very fine blonde hair, so it's important that you don't make the temperature too high. So I'm going to just place it on. I have to give it a few seconds. Always when I do this, it almost is on. Yeah, I have it on 100 like 180, something about that, so not the middle, but like the 110 is way too high. So I'm just going to start. You hear it's finished, it gives me the thing. I'm going to place it a little bit on the sides. You can see I already did the lower parting, so I'm just placed the top, and you see the top is still straight. I'm going to show you two different kind of techniques with the Dyson straightener. Just make sure I have my parting correct. I'm just going to make sure that I bring you a little bit more up close. Okay. Always make sure that when you're using hot tools, you're always using the right product. So I have already placed our treatment oil in the hair, and the treatment oil is like 100% natural. So it's very important with any kind of hairstyle you're using with hot tools. So for example, a dryer or a curling or a straightening iron, you always have to protect the hair. So I prepped the hair with already 2 drops of our natural oil to give it the right protection from the heat. After that, I'm always making sure, if you want to have very nice clean curls, that you make sure that your parting is also so clean. So don't brush it out before, it will give you a better result. First, I'm going to show you a horizontal hairstyle. So I'm placing the hair in the curling straightener, and then I'm twisting it around. And you see I'm placing it all up to here. Make sure you don't clip the iron all the way straight. So you see that there's still a small opening in it. And then slowly, it's very important that you do it slowly, run through the hair all the way to the ends. And if you're almost there, you're just making an extra slide, and make sure you will tap also the ends and run them also horizontal through the iron. And here you see you have like a very curling. The other technique is that you're using Also, make sure you do like brushing it before so that your section is clean. Now I'm placing my iron vertical, and you can see when I finish this look, it's the same. Don't close it, because if you're closing it too hard, you will see marks in the hair. Make sure I'm placing it vertical all the way through. When I finally come to the end, I will turn it a little bit more. And what you see now is the difference, that you have more volume from the roots. When I placed it like horizontal, you see that you have more curls in the ends, and here you see you have more volume to the roots. So it's all up to you what kind of hairstyle you like. For me, I'm going to do this again because I really like to have some volume, because we want to create an updo. So I need some volume also to the roots. So I'm going to redo this one. And of course, I have my lovely colleague again. So if you have any kind of questions in between, we are more than happy to answer them for you. So if it's about the Dyson, or about our treatment oil, or about, of course, our famous hairpins, feel free to answer. And I will fit to ask, and we will answer them. So I'm continuing. I'm just making sure you can see it. So I'm placing again. Also, it's very important to know where you're coming to the sides, you're always turning the iron away from the face. So it will open the face framing. So please be aware, if you're doing the sides, always make sure the curls are going in this direction. I see that it's almost empty, so I'm continuing a little bit quicker. If you're placing it in the charger and it's full load, it's like 45 minutes that you can use it. So I'm already almost done. So if you are bringing it with you, it's like 40-45 minutes you can use it. And you see how soft the curls are. I'm going to switch to the other side. I'm just going to make sure also that I curl it away from the face. And please make sure you don't press the iron too hard, because that will definitely give you marks in the hair, and that's not what you want. You can see I have to do this one again because it doesn't. Yeah, we know it's almost finished. That's a better result. And then we're almost there. That's the reason why I already prepped the hair, because you really don't want to see me doing a whole hairstyle, because it will take too much time. So I just have to do those two sides, and then we are going to do, I'm just making sure I will come a little bit more up close again. Placing the iron in. Don't squeeze too hard. And you can see it's almost, if you're curling like a ribbon, what you do when you're making presents. It's like the same technique with a ribbon through a scissor. And the last one. And And of course it's today Halloween, so in our last masterclass we give you already some tips. So for you that missed that one, it's on our YouTube channel, so you can see and have some inspiration for maybe tonight if you're going to a party, or go go tonight some special events. It's like Halloween twisted, so it's still, your hair looks elegant but with like spooky elements. But because we really like to be prepared, we didn't do the Halloween today, because we already want to continue on the festive season. So therefore we are doing today the festives. You see that I have a lot of technique and a lot of texture in the hair. I'm going to use my Backcomb brush to make it a little bit more smooth. Please keep in mind, if you're brushing the hair, always make sure that you are touching the hair and you're just brushing it. When you're always make sure that you're in contact with the hair, so that you don't pull the hair, that you're always making sure that you are brushing the hair gentle from all the way to the roots. And now if she's going this way and she's moving, you see that the reason I did it vertical is that we also have now some movements from the roots. When I placed it, for example, only with the horizontal, you wouldn't see any texture on top. So you see I have a lot of texture, and for everybody that want to have like a festive hairstyle, it's very important that you have like a good prep in your hair, because most of the days, hey, you're starting, for example, on a dinner party, and the morning after you want to create still some hairstyles, but if there's some texture in the hair, it really works well. So you already have the volume and you don't have to create it with other kind of elements. Of course, it's like festive, so we want to have big hair. The most popular product after, of course, our hairpins is our Backcomb brush. So I'm going to show you where I place the Backcomb brush technique. I'm going to start like 2 centimeters under the crown area. I will bring you again a little bit more up close. Also, for now, it's very important that you always have clean sections, because if you don't work clean, your end result will not look as perfect as it's supposed to be. So make sure that your place the hairspring very tight. Then I'm placing my Backcomb brush horizontal. It's not all the way up to the length, but it's like 3 centimeters from the roots. And then I'm placing my Backcomb brush and I go all the way through the roots. So don't stop like until you really touch the skin. And again, you're taking the brush out and you're placing it in the hair again. Take it out and placing it again. So now you can see it's like a building up of volume. And if I'm placing it like this, you can see that it's a lot of volume with just like 3 steps of the technique. The parting just in front, I will do actually the same. So place my Backcomb brush on 3 centimeters and go all the way to the roots. 1, 2, and 3. Now I have, of course, 2 layers, and you can see the Backcomb brush has its long teeth. In between there are the boar hairs, and the longer version is the nylon. And the nylon longer will make sure that you undo the frizziness, but it contains the volume. So now you see I don't have any frizziness, and if I'm taking my hand and I just pull it a little bit back, you see that I have a lot of volume. Of course, a lot of people use this technique on the crown area, but it's also very important to know that you don't place it all the way on top, but you're placing it where the head becomes from round to flat. So I'm also going to place the technique. I'm going to make sure you can see it. it's round, 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 and here is the hair falling flat to the scalp. So also on this parting, I'm going to place some extra volume, 1 and 2. And you see now I have, if we compare it for example to the other side, this one is still flat, and whoop, that's me. And in here you see that I have a lot of volume. Again, I make sure that I remove the frizz, and we are going to do that of course also to the other side. And actually with just like 1, 2, 3 and 4 kinds of sections, we have more than enough. If you have a large amount of hair and of course you want to have more volume, you can contain that of course with more smaller sections, but keep in mind, don't place the volume on top, place it always on the side where the hair combines from round to the flat area. So now you see that I have a lot of volume, I have my texture, but I'm still missing something, and it's of course the updo, because we want to have some fantastic festive hairstyles. So the beginning is there, we have the volume and the texture, and now of course we need some hairpins. I'm always using hairpins with a brighter color on the masterclass, not because I really like them. Of course I like them, but also it's good for you to see where we are placing the hairpins. The first one is like a very easy one, and it looks very complicated, but it's so easy to learn. So I'm going to show you that one first. I'm going to grab a triangle section, and you see I was going in by the ear, and I'm creating a triangle section all the way to the crown area. And if you have for yourself maybe like a small parting, in this way we have very long lengths, so I'm deciding to take them all with me. But of course, if you have like a fringe or a side piece that is a little bit shorter, you can always choose to get that part out. This is the section I'm going to work with. The rest of the hair I'm going to place a little bit to the side. And what we're now going to do is I'm splitting this part in two. And in this first part, I'm going to do a very, very, very loose braid. So you can see I'm just scraping the hair, and I have here like a smaller section. So I'm adding that to the braid, but keep in mind to place it very, very loose. And it's just like 2 slides I'm adding on the braid section, and it looks very maybe high performance, but really if you do it like once or twice, it's so easy to learn. So you see I did like a normal braid and I added 2 strands with the hair. Now I'm going to make the braid even a little bit looser as it already was, and you see now that I have a beautiful braid. I'm not going to finish it yet, so I'm placing the hairpin over the braid, and I'm going to use that later on. So I'm placing it one side, and then da-da-da-da, it's me again. I'm going to go to the other side because we're going to cross the sections. Also, we're now going to see where I'm starting and do actually the same as we already did, but then of course on the other side. Also this part is going to be away. And you see already with a lot of texture in the hair and some extra volume, it makes my life so much easier. So I'm going to make sure you can see it properly. Again, I'm going to really loosely braid the first part, just like 1, 2, 3 slides. Then I'm going to add a few strands to the hair. And because I did the rest on the side, it's for me very easy to see where I was started and where I can finishing extra partings. So I'm almost there. Also in this side, you're going to make the hair a little bit more loose. And now we're going to connect them. Okay, the first section is I'm going to make sure that the hairpin is very wide open. And I don't place it all in the end, but I'm placing it almost near the roots. I cross it over the braids, and then I'm sliding it. Very important, the hairpin has to be all tucked to the scalp, and then do it in the opposite direction so that it's very secured. Now I had still the first section. I'm going to make sure we're going to let you see the correct way, and you already see that you cannot see the first braiding again, because I'm going to make sure that they are crossed over each other. So now I have the second one. Also, I'm opening the hairpin and place there over, and I make sure it's right on the scalp, and in the opposite direction I'm sliding it in. Now you see I still have here the braidings, and I'm going to undo that because it's not necessary. Of course, if you like it, you can contain it, but for this hairstyle I really like if it's going to be loose again. Make sure again, if you're going to brush, that you're holding the hair so that you don't damage it. And now you can see it's a hairstyle. I did it very slowly, but I think you can manage this festive hairstyle in less than, say 5 minutes. Of course, we did the prepping, but what's really beautiful about our hairpins, say this is like your evening hairstyle. When you take it out in the evening, you don't have any kinks or marks. So the next day, the texture and the volume is still in your hair. So you can create another hairstyle. So the prepping, of course, will take you like half an hour, but you can continue that with some dry shampoo for the next day and even the day after. So with just like a half-hour section, you can create the days after like in 3 to 5 minutes new hairstyles. So this is the first hairstyle, and it's really one of my favorite because it looks very complicated, but in the end you see it's so easy to create. So this is the first hairstyle. I'm going to remove the hairpins. And what I already said, hey, you don't have any kinks or marks, so I can really undo the braids and finishing another hairstyle without any result of showing off that I have to wash the hair again or I have to do again with the iron. It's still there, it still contains because the volume is still in place. So the second look, because it's a festive season and we need to have more than one options. This is like the very classic one. When I was in school to become, of course, a hairstylist, this one is one of my favorite hairstyles to do, like a classic updo. And of course, when I was younger, we didn't have the beautiful hairpins, so we did it with regular bobby pins. At that time I used like more than 20 hairpins or bobby pins to create this hairstyle, and now I can do it with easy 5 or sometimes 4 1 hairpins. So my life, and not only my life but the life of my clients, is way better because Of course, a normal hairpin compared to a number one hairpin is also so much better for the hair because it doesn't damage, or that you have one itchy hair that's between the metal bobby pins. And now the normal number one hairpins are so fabulous for your hair, so you don't have any itches or issues or breakage of your hair. You already saw that I was splitting the hair in multiple sections. So the first section, I always tell my students, it's like the size of a grapefruit. That always keeps them in mind, that they're thinking, okay, a grapefruit, how big looks a grapefruit? Now, this is almost the size of a grapefruit. And you're placing it, I'm going to make sure you can see properly, it's a little bit on top of the scalp, and then until, like, what do we say, it's like almost this size. We're going to lift the hair up, and this is like very stepwise creation. I'm going to lift the hair up, and again, it's always good to use braiding techniques because it makes the hair and the updos smooth. You don't have any flyaways, but also very good because you have a lot of grip. So I'm going to braid the hair not all the way from the roots, but I just lifted the hair a little bit up, and then I'm continuing. I don't know if yet you can see it because the lengths of the hair are a little bit long. So make sure if you're braiding, I don't want to use any kind of elastic, so I have a little trick for you to show. So I'm almost there. You can see I have still like a very small piece. Then I'm grabbing my backcomb brush and I'm just backcombing the ends so it will lock, and I don't need to have any kind of elastics. Now I have my braid, I have my volume, and I'm placing my hand underneath the braid and I'm twisting the braid around, and I'm looping the hair in a knot. Then I'm grabbing my first number one hairpin and placing it in the braid. Make sure you're all having the right ends. It's I will bring you a little bit up close. So you're placing, I will do it again, placing the hairpins in, then the lengths will go out, and make sure it's already stuck with one hairpin. So now I have a very solid base and I can create almost everything because I'm going combined all the hair until this very good base. Now I'm going to use a little bit more volume, so I'm going to make sure that I have a little bit more volume in the nape area and some more texture. And you see, now I'm going to place the lengths all the way up, and if I'm making some extra volume, you can see I can shape also the texture of the hair a little bit better. And I'm just going to wrap it all around the first. Again, I'm going to place it in this position. I make sure that I'm placing a hairpin in again. And of course, maybe if my dress was pink, but normally I will not wear like the pink one, I recommend, of course, using something that really looks good on your hair. So in this hair, I normally should use like the brown one or the mochaccino. But if you want to make something spectacular and you do have that kind of dress, it's also very nice to do show them, but that's all up to you. So now I have my two hairpins in, and you can see it's like already like 60% of the hair is in place. It's very tight. It's already a lot of volume, but the comfort for the model is so, yeah, there's no hair that is going to be itchy or in any kind of position that you think, oh, let me take out of my updo because it's going to hurt. Again, I want to have a little bit more volume, so I'm just placing some extra backcombing technique in all the lengths that I have a little bit even more texture. I'm going. You see, it's like sculpting. Also in art, I really love doing updos because every time you create something, there's something new creating. It's almost not possible to create something the same. It's always something really unique and special. You can already see the structure is going to change. And again, I'm going to make sure that I'm placing this around. Again, I'm grabbing the hairpin. I'm making sure that I'm connecting in that same base. It's going to be a little bit tighter, so yeah, it will definitely stay. And now you can see already from the side that I have some amazing volume. And it's going to be almost finished. So the last parting, and now I'm using a middle parting, which you can always choose for a side or really asymmetrical. It's all up to you in what kind of style, but also important what kind of dress or outfit you're wearing. For example, if you're wearing something with a very clean neckline, it's important to know that you always must know that there are some hair pieces are going to fall on your, the rest of your body. So always make sure what kind of dress you're wearing. Maybe that's a good item for next time. What kind of dress, what kind of hairstyle. So the last part, I'm going to make sure that I will cross it over. Let me show you. So here it was first. The left side goes all the way around, and now I'm going to use the last side. And also this one is going to be just going to be first placing a little bit of oil because I really like to get rid of the smoothness. So, no, much better. If you don't like what you see, don't continue. Always think, okay, how can I make this workable? And then finish it. Because if the hair is already in place, it will never get the right solution. So stop what you're doing and take one step back and then finish it. And you see the difference between just like 3 minutes ago and right now is such a difference. So go one step back and you will see it works out. So the last and now if if you can look a little bit, yeah, up, yeah. I'm going to make sure that I, of course, normally I would not recommend maybe then use the strawberry pink, but I'm closing the hairpin all the way up in here and make sure it looks very tight. And of course you can decide yourself if you want to tuck the ends in. For now I'm just want to finish it all up and just make sure that I still have one hairpin left to create this total session. And it's like such a smooth and volumized hairstyle, but you really don't feel anything. So you have really an elegant hairstyle where you can enter with any kind of dress or outfit. The perfect creation, but really, really without any headaches in the end of the evening. So I think this one is like really good that we have it live on our YouTube channel, because you can continue doing this look step by step. This is like a really masterclass, a festive hairstyle that's for people that don't do hair as often. You really need to see and do it again and again. Of course, I'm a hairstylist, so for me it's very common to do that. So this is a hairstyle, if you want to create this for the holiday and the festive season, you should actually practice like once or twice before you're going out. So yeah, this was the other one. I hope you liked it. And the first one was really like the very common one you can do in 2 minutes. This one is more like 5 minutes, but if you walk an entrance, any kind of room with this hairstyle, I think everybody will look up to you. And this was already it, but in the end, I already promised that I had a big surprise for you, because it's today, it's Halloween, and we decided yesterday we're going to give a trick or treat for you. So we have until midnight, correct?
Yes.
Yes, until midnight we have this beautiful spooky whites. So if you're ordering just until midnight and with any order you receive the spooky white extra hairpin from us. So make sure you, if you already want to buy the hairpins, this is the night, because you will give one of these number one hairpins for free. The next masterclass we're going to announce in our newsletters. So if you have any questions or recommendations, what kind of masterclass you would like to see, please leave it in the comments or send us a DM. And we are always really happy with all your requests and comments. I don't think there are really like no comments right now.
No.
Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time.